the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
And welcome back for part 2 of this week's second episode of the week, whatever you want to say. I am the host, Michael.
I'm John.
And I'm Andrew. Michael's having fun doing some weird stuff.
Hey.
I am hoping we can get through this. Because it is storming at all three of our houses. And I can tell my internet is getting slower.
It just all of a sudden, it was working fine a couple minutes ago, and it just went. Yeah.
So hopefully we can get through this. Welcome back to Toy Rewind Podcast. This is episode 79, and we're gonna. Sorry. So, welcome to Toy Rewind Podcast. We're just here to talk about a little toy line from our childhood and give you a history lesson about how that toy line was created and ended up in your house. And for this one specifically, our house, because I had these. This week we're rewinding back to 1992 to learn about some of the smallest toys ever released by Bluebird Toys. And I know what you're thinking. He said that last time. But this time we're talking about Mighty Max, the release by Bluebird after Polly Pocket did amazing. And so Mighty Max. And I do have to say, as awesome as Polly Pocket is and how they made something change and like changed everything about it, make it small, and they went above and beyond with Mighty Max. I gotta say, I love these things. So be prepared for that review later on the line and when we rank these, because it's going to be probably high for me. But before we get into that, John, can you give us our social media rundown?
John,
I will. John Michael, huh? All right. All right. So check our websites out over at toyrewindpodcast.com, or you can look us up over at crossthestreamsmedia.com. While you're over at Cross the Streams Media, go ahead and click on there and leave us a voicemail so we can get those into our podcast as we're doing stuff and listen to them. You've heard one from Larry on the last one as we talked about what he had.
We enjoyed that.
See how we could do those. You can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch is all Toy Rewind Pod. Facebook and YouTube is Toy Rewind Podcast. And like I always say, make sure you put podcast on those two so you make sure you get us and not those other guys. We do stream our Toy Box showcases to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch when we get those done. And then, as always, if you want to have a little fun playing a bingo game while you're listening to these podcasts, you can check out our podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind and play along.
Let's talk about those other guys real quick. We mentioned them every episode.
That's what I was about to say.
Let's talk about those other guys.
Question.
I don't think they do much with it. So if you are those other guys and you want to talk about not owning Toy Rewind Pod or whatever, Toy Rewind, you just send me a message or send Michael and send John, send one of them. We will be happy to take that off your plate and take control of that because we think it's awesome. And I don't think they're doing much with it anymore. So if you do happen to find that, you just let us know.
Now, has either one of y'all checked on that? See what it...
I have not.
I haven't lately. It was a while back, but when I first found it, that there was some stuff on there, but I never actually checked to see what they were doing. So, yeah,
I might have to check them out and see what's up.
So, yeah, we need to do that because I would love to remove that out of our conversation about it. Make sure you're doing the right one because those other guys are not us, and we are. I don't know. I don't want to say we're superior or anything. But we are getting content out there. We're doing this and we're having a lot of fun with it. So would love to do that. All right. So this week, before we get started into our Mighty Max conversation, it's been a couple days. So have you guys decided whether you're a door or a wheel person yet?
I'm a wheel person.
Michael's a wheel person. John? Come on. We're going to have one. And it hasn't been a couple days. It's literally just been not even an hour since we. I'll be honest with our listeners. It has not been a couple days. So that's why we don't have anything.
to back.
Right. That's why we don't have any of your things to say, hey, this is how many people are doors. This is how many people are wheels. We're expecting to say that on the next episode after we have some time after these drops. So, all right. Well, we got a lot to talk about with Mighty Max. So, Michael, are you ready?
I am. Let's go.
All right. Let's rewind and get into it.
All right. So 1992 was when this cup come out. So let's actually step back a little further to 1987 with 1987 with the introduction of the Micro Machines by Galoob. The miniature toy market became a big thing because of this. They hit a big niche. I don't know why. In the 70s.
Welcome to the toy.
Sorry about that.
I thought we were doing a redo.
No.
Which
Sorry
we never
about that.
do anyway. Just go with what we got.
We had a glitch.
Blame it on the weather.
We'll blame it the weather this time around. So back in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, you saw G.I. Joe was 12-inch, and you had the Mego figures. They were all 10 to 12-inch tall, and the smallest you might have was probably an 8-inch. And then Star Wars came out, and you had 3 3/4. Well, G.I. Joe went to 3 3/4, and then you had your He-Man and all those that are like 5 inches, 4 inches, all those lines. And then Micro Machine hit the toy market in 1987, and these are roughly 1/164 scale, little bitty just little bitty things, and it became a big market. So it just the miniature toy market became a big thing. So in 1989,
I love how that works, Michael.
Yeah, a toy company from the UK named Bluebird Toys released a line of miniature play sets called Polly Pocket, and I gave a little history on Bluebird Toys and stuff with that episode, our last episode with them. So, but Polly Pocket was such a huge success for them. They wanted something similar to gear towards boys. So this line consisted of pocket-sized adventure play sets similar to those of Polly Pocket, but with gross and gruesome themes, and was introduced to the toy world in 1992. The story of Max starts with him receiving a magical ball cap from his dad. When Max wore this cap and cocked it to the side, he instantly transported to the horror zone where he was the chosen one and had to battle evil monsters and creatures. So you put your hat on backwards or cock it to one side.
You say cock it to the side.
Yeah, cock it to one side. Like
mine's gonna be better backwards because
you do it like Sylvester Stallone does in Over the Top to get his arm wrestling groove on. Yeah. And John's over there bobbing his head back and forth. So we're gonna wear our hats on backwards.
Hopefully everything goes well. Apparently, there's a flash flood happening here at the house. So.
Okay. We'll try not to float away. Each play set, when closed, gave the kids an idea of what kind of creature or perils that Max had to face when it opened up. The play sets were elaborately detailed and had moving parts, hidden compartments, staircases, ladders, and then creatures on the inside. So, it's like we talked about with Polly Pocket last episode, was how detailed these little sets were. Like I said, they were like 2.5 by 2.5 inches on most of these little sets that folded up and could fit in your pocket. Every square millimeter of these things has some kind of detail to them. So
here, I want to show this. I love little Max figure. I think he's so funny looking. He's amazing.
He's got his red hat, and actually in the story it turns purple.
It is to the side.
It is to the side.
It is to the side. Yeah.
He's got his white shirt on, white t-shirt with an M on it, and his blue jeans and white tennis shoes. So that's your Mighty Max figure right there. So
That is Max. He is amazing.
Now this was a line that actually spawned its own cartoon after the toy line came out. So usually they put out the cartoon to supplement the toy line. Well, this toy line was out, and then they decided, hey, let's do a cartoon for this. So each episode consisted of an adventure from one of the particular sets, and they actually made a few more sets after the cartoon got going to supplement, to go along with some of the episodes. So the cartoon was actually 40 episodes. It had 2 seasons. It ran from September of 93 to December of 94. After the cartoon series came out, with new sets were created to continue the story, and then older sets were re-released with an updated origin story of Max. So they actually changed his little story up a little bit. Instead of his dad giving him the magic hat, this is actually Max was in his house and knocked over his mom's statue. Big thunder. So that's what you do. Don't knock over your mom's statue. And then inside, the statue broke, and then inside the statue, he found this magical ball cap. It made him, when he put it on, it made him the Mighty One, able to travel anywhere instantly using time portals, with the help of his 2 protectors, Virgil and Norman. Max must face the ultimate evil of Skullmaster and save the world. So the first thing I thought about knocking over and breaking the statue was that scene in the Goonies where Chunk knocks over Mikey's mom's statue. So,
Right.
So
I mean, that's how it always starts, right?
yeah. So, and then they have adventures from there, so that's kind of what, and he has adventures from this. So that's what popped in my head when I thought about this. So this line lasted through 1995 and was canceled before the 96 line could be released. But there were several that were close to being finalized for this line for the 96 season. They had a whole line of stuff they wanted to do, and there was actually a couple of pre-production pieces that got out and were sold on eBay and stuff like that. So some few things that Mighty Max did that were unconventional from normal toy lines. Number one was it was a toy line first and then became a cartoon series. Number two, it started in the UK and migrated to the US. So usually it's the US stuff that migrates overseas. Well, this one started there. It came over here. And then number three, it was adapted from a girls' line of toys after a gross out makeover. So it was Polly Pocket put into the horror and gruesome world of monsters and stuff like that, creatures, and set with a boy, and it kind of grew from there. So there was 3 different series released, and each series consisted of different sizes of play sets. Each size had its own little price point. Again, I didn't see any prices on these. I think John's been looking and hadn't found any. So, or maybe he did.
I came across something I'm still debating.
Okay. All right. So
internal debate. Those are always
keep debating, and when we get to the end of the talk, we'll do that. So
yeah.
All right. So each series, there was 3 different series. They had their own. Each series had a different things in them. So different size play sets. So the first one we're going to talk about is the Doom Zones. This is by far the most popular and recognizable play sets. These were the medium-sized sets. They were kind of right in the middle. These usually consisted of around 3 to 4 set exclusive figures, along with a standard Max figure. The original 6 play sets from Series 1 were later repackaged with a bonus Norman figure. And the 6 sets from Series 2 were later repackaged with a bonus Harry head or as we know in the U.S., was called the dreadhead.
Yeah.
So let's look at a couple of these.
I have these. These are just the outside of the cases. Spiders, dragon skull, snake, alien. I don't know what this thing is. Yeah, so I've got these. I'll pull up the insides of them also as we talk about them.
Yeah. So if we look at, they all have names like Series 1, the Doom Zones. There was Mighty Max slays Doom Dragon, Mighty Max trapped by Arachnoid, Mighty Max terminates Wolf Ship 7, Mighty Max liquidates the Ice Alien, Mighty Max escapes from Skull Dungeon, and Mighty Max conquers the Temple of Venom, which was renamed to Conquers the Palace of Poison in North America. So I think that's the one we're looking at here.
That's the one we're looking at here, the snake.
Palace of Poison.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have this snake that it pulls up and then the compact opens up. It looks like there's a rope that connects from the snake's mouth to like the top floor. And then the bottom floor there is that a scorpion?
There's a scorpion comes with this one, yes.
Yeah. So the scorpion does come out on this.
Yes.
I did not have this one. There's one of these here in a minute we'll get to that I had. So some skeletons on the side. The dungeon walls are brick and kind of broken up there a little bit.
And you have down at the bottom around where the scorpion's sitting in there, you have all the little treasures, stuff like that. And there's more skeletons that are molded in.
I was trying to figure out what the red and purple or red and green is down there. Like it's hard to see.
I don't know. I know a lot of these when you get into
those
some
might
of these,
be snakes. Those might be snakes.
Yeah, you get into some of these bigger sets, they do have like a lot of red for blood and stuff like that on some of these. So
okay. So this is the ice one.
Yeah. So this one's like it's got a little a robot / alien that lives in it. It has another creature that comes out like an ice creature, but it looks like an ice mountain type thing on the inside there. Let's see. Okay.
All right, so let's look at here we go. This is I don't know which one this is. This is Alien.
The Alien or the Wolf Ship 7?
Let's see if I can figure out which one that is. Yeah, Wolf Ship 7.
Yeah, this is Wolf Ship 7. And these come with little alien robots that come with it. It's like the inside of an alien ship. When you close it, it looks like a wolf head is what it looks like. So,
all right, this is the spider, and it is trapped by arachnoid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now
so this one has a pretty big spider. This one's kind of cool.
Yeah, this one when you close it up, the spider that comes out is actually the legs of looks like legs for the big. When you got it closed up, it looks like a big spider, and when you open it up, there's actually a smaller spider that comes out. That it's a separate piece with the legs that looks like it's the legs of the big spider too. So this one has got just different little things inside here that I'm trying to find my wrong button. Yeah, so it's just you're fighting the spider in this one.
These images are hard to see some of the details, but the details in these are great. So this one slays the Doom Dragon. So this one looks like a dragon on the outside.
Yeah.
Also could look a little like a snake, but I mean, snake, dragon, they all look the same anyways, right?
Yeah, it looks like some kind of lizard head.
Yeah. So. I like how they've taken the teeth on it and they've made them, when you open it up, they just look like stalagmites. stalactites, whichever ones come from the bottom.
Yeah.
And they're just white, like they're there, but when you close it, they look like the teeth from the dragon.
Yeah.
This one's got a little bridge in it, dragon that comes out, and that looks like Bigfoot.
Yeah, there's I think this one's got a gorilla looking creature in this one too.
There's still lots of skeletons, some lava in there. This one's kind of cool. I like this one.
Mm-hmm. It's got a little rickety bridge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this one's pretty cool. I like this one is.
This one's Escapes from Skull Dungeon.
Skull Dungeon, yeah. This one pulls from. It's got Dr. Frankenstein and Frankenstein's monster in it. It has, talking about some of these movable parts and stuff. It has a little table that the monster of Frankenstein can sit on, and it kind of swivels back and forth, where you lay it down flat or you bring it up where he can stand up straight. And then you have his laboratory is the bottom part, and the back part that stands that's upright. You have like a little dungeon. You see the skeleton hanging on the wall over there on the back part, and
like an office type.
Yeah, and then an office
headquarters
thing up
at the top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I had this one.
Okay, so the one you had. Okay.
And my favorite thing about this one is the eye. So when you close it up, you've got this skeleton. It's got these, these faint teeth, and then this one yellow eye. Well, when you open it, that eye becomes part of the laboratory. It's like one of those electric, things that has electricity, all electric balls or whatever. And that's what it kind of looks like on the inside. It's obviously not one of those, but that's what it looks like. But when you close it, it's like an eyeball.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love the little details and little things like this.
Yeah. All right. So the next kind of set they have is the horror heads. These are essentially serving as smaller versions of Doom Zones. The horror heads usually contain around 2 set exclusive figures, along with a standard Mighty Max figure. So you get your Mighty Max, and then you get two exclusives for these as well. These are a little bit smaller than the ones we just talked about.
Yeah, so this one is Mighty Max Fights Nuke Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like you've got Max on, I can't really tell what it is, but I can tell you've got the eyeball thing going on here where you've got the eyes. And then when you close it, they become the eyes of this, whatever this thing is.
It looks like
there you
somebody
go.
Wearing a gas mask is what it looks like.
So I see how the little thing that Mighty Max was on goes into
it's like a separate side ship that comes out, and when you close it up inside there, it looks like the breathing apparatus of the gas mask, and then the 2 eyes from the face are on there as well.
Would this gas mask keep them from getting COVID, or keep them from just getting Joker's laughing gas?
I think this one might help.
It might do both.
Yeah.
And then it's got I assume there's a robot in here, kind of a robot guy, because you're talking about a nuke ranger. It looks like maybe he's got a fire gun. What do you call those things? Fire guns.
Blowtorch type gun.
There you go, blowtorch. That's a good word for it.
Yeah. So.
All right, so we've got Mighty Max Battles Skull Warrior. Looks like a part.
This
looks like Man Bat from Batman.
Yeah,
but half cyborg.
Yeah, cyborg type looking guy.
So you open it up, and he's fighting a cyborg type thing in there, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Then we have Robot Invader. Mighty Max fights Robot Invader here. Ironically, he looks like a robot.
Yeah.
The inside of this one, you see where the pieces kind of come together, and you've got this little robot guy, Max, in the middle, and then this is like a bug robot. I don't know what this is. I don't know how to explain that thing. It's purple.
It looks like a skull head from a robotic insect or something. Yeah.
It looks like a version of Krang, but it's purple and has a metal brain instead of
Yeah.
being like a full brain. Like it's got a metal part of his brain.
Yeah.
That's so hopefully you can envision that as you're listening to this. This next one is Mighty Max defeats Vamp Biter. Interestingly enough, this is the first one where we actually get defeats in the name of it. The rest of them have fights and battles and against.
Yeah.
This one, they're saying, hey, you defeat them. This is a bat. This is Man Bat.
Yeah.
You know.
So you open it up, you got your own little bat figure off to the side there that comes out, and
when it's closed,
when you close it,
there it is.
the wings for the bat figure that's in there, when you
Are
close it
the
up,
ears.
it's actually the ears for when it's closed up. Looks like the head.
This looks like a evil version of the bat from Fern Gully.
That's
Yeah.
what I was about to say. Yeah, it looks like the Fern Gully, but
Yeah, this looks like an evil version of the bat from Fern. Sorry, Robin Williams, rest in peace, but this is what it looks like. This next one challenges Lava Beast.
Yeah.
Looks like this guy got in a
big-
fight. This guy just looks like he got in a fight and got his butt whooped. You
all
open
red
it
and
up.
swelled up.
And you open it up. You've got the mountain is the eye again.
Yeah,
You see that? You got a little spider, scorpion, bug thing,
yeah,
and then a purple brain again. Smaller purple brain this time.
yeah. So,
Mighty Max pulverizes Sea Squirm. Is that what Sea Squirm looks like?
I guess so. It looks like some kind of sea monster.
Yeah.
So again, when you open it up, the figure inside comes out, and it's and you close it back up. That figure has the arms. It's actually the ears or something on this creature's, maybe horns. It may be like some kind of horns. So it just shows how the figures that fold up inside here actually
are
part of the look of it when it's closed up.
There's a couple more of those. They're not great figures.
Yeah.
So let's move on to series 2.
Okay. So, we just talked about some of the horror heads on this. So let's talk about monster heads next, because the Doom Zones, horror heads, monster heads, the Doom Zones and horror heads, those are all in all 3 series. So we just talked about the stuff from series 1.
Okay.
But there are others that are similar play sets. They look the same. They're just in all 3 series. So monster heads. We're talking about monster heads. These were kind of released throughout the years. It wasn't in any particular series. These were play sets that were considerably smaller than even the horror heads, and did not actually open up. These each came with one set exclusive monster figure, and then a max figure unique to that playset. So all these other playsets, all the Mighty Maxes in each one kind of looked almost the same. The max that comes with these, the max were unique to that individual playset. So, or that individual thing. So monster heads.
So
Fang.
I have one here, and it's called Fang.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what it looks. This is closed and outside of the blister pack, because most of the pictures are in the blister pack. They're hard to see. So this is Fang closed, and then this is what it looks like when you open them up. So you've got this little Mighty Max. Actually, it looks a little bit bigger than the other figures did. Hard to tell because the actual play set thing is a little smaller.
Right.
But so I can't quite tell. But he's got his gloves up, but he just looks a little different to me. So
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, you had the shrunken heads, is what you're looking at.
yeah.
We hadn't got to shrunken heads yet.
Oh, did I open the wrong one? Oh, I did. I
Yeah,
opened
so
the
we're
wrong-
on.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're on the monster heads. The monster heads don't open up. So
Okay.
uh,
I just opened the wrong
Monsters.
ones. I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Is there any of these that don't have? They're all in blister packs,
yeah,
so they're
all
hard
the
to
pictures
see.
we have. So
Here we go. I'll pull this one up. Sorry about that. Sorry to confuse everybody.
So these are, you get your one Mighty Max figure, you get one monster figure that comes with this. There's not really much you can play with. I mean, they're just small little things, kind of crazy looking. Yeah. So which one we're looking at? We're looking at the
Basilisk.
Okay, the Basilisk.
The Basilisk.
Okay, so you have the Basilisk here, then you have your Mighty Max figure, and then you have your creature that comes with it. So
if you don't know what a Basilisk is, go watch Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter. There you go. So these are little bitty simple little things. It's nothing big. So
yeah, they're still interesting. If you look at this, John, I see there's a price tag on here. It looks like it says 3 for $5, which is probably a aftermarket sale, but
right.
It says 40. Was it say 409 underneath it?
I can't tell. It still is an aftermarket sale price.
That's a KB Toys sticker on there.
Oh, okay. Well then,
yeah.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So, not terribly expensive, but especially if you're getting 3 for $5 when they were $409 anyways.
Yeah, they had them marked them down.
Right.
Yeah, I'm trying to get rid of those.
All right, so let's talk about the hairy heads real quick before we get to the shrunken heads that Andrew was on. The hairy heads were also known as dread heads here in the U.S. because they changed the name. These were play sets that were really more accessories. The heads with openable mouth, with the mouths will open up, and they possessed a hinge on the back that to be used as a stand to stand the head upright or attached to an object such as a school bag or whatever. You can clip this and take these wherever you want to go. These all had a fuzzy hair on their heads and included a random Mighty Max figure that could sit in the mouth. These were only released in the UK and Europe as singles. The US were called, like I said, called Dreadheads, and were included as bonuses in the Doom Zones for when they re-released the Doom Zones. That they had these. I don't have any pictures for the Dreadheads.
I don't have any pictures back. Yeah.
No, but all it was a head that the mouth would open, and your Mighty Max can fit inside the mouth. That's pretty much what that is.
Yeah. So. Okay, so those are those. Yeah, we're getting some feedback on John's mic. I was just telling him.
How are you getting feedback on my mic?
I don't know what it is, but when I mute you, it goes away.
Oh. It's the weather.
We'll blame the weather. It's still crazy.
All right, so what Andrew was showing us a minute ago was the shrunken heads.
I'm still showing it.
So, yeah, he still got it up on the screen. So we'll talk about these shrunken heads real quick. These were extremely small and were fully openable, but only came with an exclusive Mighty Max figure. These had no detachable monster to fight. Instead, simply an embossed decoration set against the interior of the set. So this one we're looking at, would you say this one was Fang?
Yeah, this is Fang, yeah.
Okay, so it opens up. It's just big enough for your Mighty Max figure. Max can stand inside of it. It has looks like it has little squiggly snakes.
It looks like on the bottom there, it's got a face hugger. Just to say,
yeah, it's some kind of
I know it's not,
looking
but it looks like
fish
one
thing. Yeah, something like that's there. So and then your Mighty Max looks like he's got boxing gloves on for that one.
Yeah, he's been fighting the face hugger.
So the first 8 sets were based on original creatures, while the remaining 8 were based on episodes of the cartoon. The first 8 were originally came in packaged sets of 2, but were later released separately by themselves. So the first time you saw these, you bought them as a 2-pack, and then they decided to release them separately. They were also available as cereal box prizes as well. So it didn't tell me what cereal had them as prizes, but you can get them with cereal box or your cereal. This is why the first 8 are relatively common. There's so many of them. But the later 8, which were based off eight of the cartoons, they were released in much smaller quantities and some of the rarest sought after sets within the line, despite their small size. So the Shrunken Heads, the second 8 are the 8 to find if you could find any.
These are pretty cool. I like these because they're smaller. They're back to that really small.
Yeah, these are even smaller than
Yeah.
the pocket sized ones.
Because I mean, if you look at it, Mighty Max from the original Polly Pocket, they made them a slightly larger when they made the ones that Bluebird released, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Mighty Max has made them slightly, not much bigger, but a little bit bigger because they added more details around different things.
Yeah.
You got like this skull head, and everything. It makes them a little bit bigger. Then you've got different things. Like there is one of them. I was looking. It is a playset, and it's Dragon Island. Like it looks like this cool dragon head, but it's a much larger one, you know.
Yeah,
so
there are a lot of larger ones.
But yeah, they're cool. I'll unmute you, John. You can unmute yourself if you want. You look like you were going to say something.
No, I have prices on the big sets.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool.
Okay.
Those are the only things I can find prices on.
Yeah,
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Okay, so these Shrunken Heads, that's what we just talked about.
Yeah.
So next, the Battle Warriors. These were action figures which transformed into smaller playsets based on the same principle as the Mighty Max Blast Magnus playset. So we'll get to that here in a minute.
Are these
But
also Action
this is a-
Masters?
This is what'd you say? it
You
was?
said Battle Warriors?
Yeah, the Battle Warriors. Let's see. Yeah, Action Masters are the bigger ones.
Oh, okay. So I don't have any
know if
pictures
there's
of
any
Battle.
pictures on this one. So
Okay.
this one, actually, it was a larger figure or beast, and you could take them apart, and different parts of his body turned into play sets. So you had one guy that turned into 5 different play sets. So,
Interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember seeing some of those
Yeah.
when I was looking at stuff the other day. So
so now you got your larger scale play sets. These were, like I said, these were released throughout the years, being significantly less portable, but coming with an increased figure count and more playability. So you get a bigger play set to play with, but you get a lot more figures that come with these sets. So what do we have?
what do you have on prices on those, John?
So the Dragon Island one
Uh-huh.
was $29.99, and this is in 1994. So it shows,
$57 today.
huh?
That's $57 today.
Yeah,
With inflation.
Wow. It's got the dragons and stuff with that one. It looks pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having some of these. The Mighty Max Magnus or Magus. Yeah, see, that's pretty cool.
That's a cool looking one. I like that one.
Yeah.
And then the way it opens up. But Magus, rock monster with grasping claws and firing projectiles. He was $19.99.
Yeah, so you're $30-ish.
Yeah,
Almost
and
40.
then Skull Mountain.
Ooh.
That's the big one. That's the big
that's the
play
big
set.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big one. Was $39.99.
$39.99. So you're looking at like 70, almost $80 for this one.
That's about right. Because it
But that's this one, yeah.
it opens up and you have a whole
That will go
Mountain
good with your
to
first
climb
one down
up.
there.
yeah, it would.
They've got there's like an elevator thing that screws the top of it. You screw it and it goes up and down. And this is the one where you're fighting the main bad guy.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
What I
That's
say his
just
name was Skullmaster. You're battling Skullmaster with this set here.
that would be the one that I would want to have.
Yeah,
That
it's
was
got all kinds of things.
that was pretty awesome.
Mhm.
Something on there has batteries in that one too. Same with the dragon one too. So
Well, if you look at this right here, it looks like maybe this like spins up. And didn't you say that, Michael?
Yeah, but you
Possibly
spin it
spins
with
up.
your hand up
I
the
just
top.
wondered. It looks like there's a button there. That's why I was wondering if there was a.
but it does say does not include batteries on the deal.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I like that one. Definitely like that one. I would like to have one.
Yeah, I like the Dragon Island.
So if you've got one, please send it to me. I'll put it with the rest of them.
Okay, so there's two sets that are exactly the same. You have Mighty Max defies the Dreadstar, and Mighty Max takes on the Terror Talons. These, like I said, these are two exactly the same play sets, but came boxed differently, and then with different pieces. So the Dreadstar had 6 alien villains, plus Skelemonster robot and scavenger vehicle. And then the Terror Talons only had 5 alien villains. Sorry, 5 alien villains with no vehicle.
So this is Terror Talon that I'm showing here.
Yeah.
And then you open it up. Yeah.
So, yeah. So they were packaged different, and they had different different accessories with those. So, but they were the exact same playset, pretty much. So there was also a total of 6 different hero and villains figure sets. So you just buy the set with Mighty Max, Norman, and Virgil in there, and then they had various villains mixed in. So there were 6 different of those. The first 3 were simply repaints of pre-existing figures that came with recent Doom zones and horror heads. That came. They were just repaints of figures that came in the sets, and then the second, third, 3 of them were figures done in the style of the cartoon. So they actually came out with 3 packs of 3 different packages of figures that were from the cartoons as well, which were the villains of the cartoons. So lastly, real quick, we'll talk about this. There were 2 play sets that were released as part of McDonald's promotions. These were somewhat larger than the horror head, but smaller than the Doom Zone, and they came with no figures. Didn't have any figures in it, but instead have a unique feature inside. The 93 Yeti playset has a Max figure that is fixed to the interior, but can be rotated around with a dial. So again, you have a little action thing where it'll spin around in circles. The 95 Ice Monster set had a Max decoration that can be moved beneath a transparent surface to impact with 2 spinning Ice Monster decorations. So they didn't have the figures, but they were just kind of worked in there where it had a little action feature in the set that looked like it was doing something. So
yeah. I like that. I like that McDonald's is getting on this. I'm really surprised they didn't get on it with Polly Pocket. But,
yeah, I didn't see. I
feel like they had something, and maybe they ran them at the same time. Maybe it was the year they ran them at the same time. And because you got girls' toys and boys' toys at McDonald's.
Yeah, and we can look into that when we get to that close to that time period when we talk McDonald's again.
Yeah. So yeah, these are cool to have.
Well, interesting deal. He just runs around in circles.
He just goes around in circles on that. Yeah,
that's how you confuse a Yeti beast, John. You run around in circles in front of them.
So yeah, it's just one of those clamshell looking things. You open it up, and what does it look when it's closed? It looks like a Yeti head.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just looks like his face.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So all right, with this, we do have our new segment. Let's go ahead and go. Well, let's rank first. Let's rank, and then we'll go through our new segment. I'm still on screen, John. So, Michael, where do you put Mighty Max?
Mighty Max. I like these. These came out. I was already in high school, so I didn't. This was more your range, Andrew. I kind of remember the one you said you had. the Frankenstein one. But I like the playability of these with the gruesomeness, just the monster aspect of it. They're highly detailed, like we talked about with Polly Pocket stuff. All the play sets, they have every centimeter of it, millimeter, whatever is detailed. I kind of like these. And if they were 10 years earlier, I'd probably have quite a bit of these. So I'm going to put these at number 7 on my list.
Number 7 for Michael. John?
4.
Number 4. No explanation. Just get 4.
No explanation. I think they're pretty cool. I think they're. I know Megan wants some of the Polly Pockets, but I could definitely go for these because I like the gruesomeness of them. I like everything about them, and I just think they're cool.
So this is where I want to say. So okay, Polly Pocket. When we ranked those last episode, and I put Polly Pocket at number 8. I really like Polly Pocket because the ingenuity of this to get this going. Again, not our demographic. I know, John, you ranked at 6, which I'm really glad that we had one though. I think they are good. Now, Mighty Max for me is going to do what I've been waiting for a toy line to do since we started this. I am finally pushing GoBots down. This is a number 2 for me. GoBots is going to fall to the bottom where it belongs with the trash toy that it is. Not being a Transformer, obviously. This is going to push it down. Super Soakers will probably win. I can't think of something that we're going to do in this toy line that's going to beat Super Soakers, but Mighty Max got really close. I had this one. I remember playing with other friends that had them. I remember the cartoon. I loved Mighty Max. This is great. I'm sad that it's taking this long to talk about Mighty Max. So,
yes, I don't remember the cartoon.
What number did you say? 4? 4, John?
4.
I need to write that down so I can.
Yeah, it's pushing Trolls down.
But like I said, I was already in high school when this came out. So
yeah,
I was well into high school. I was almost. Because these came out.
Yeah, I don't remember having them myself. Andrew had them.
John was almost in the high school. He was a couple years behind me. But.
Well, as soon as you're in high school, John's almost in high school.
I went to high school and you got out of high school.
Yeah.
It's like when John's in high school, I'm almost in high school. That's how it works.
Yeah, me going only 3 years kept us from being in the same high school.
Yeah.
Do you push Mani Babies down? Is that what you said, Michael?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure I got that in the right spot. Yeah, definitely. This is an amazing toy line. I love this one. And now it's time for us to find out, did Larry have it? So what do you guys think?
Yes.
I'm going to say, John said yes. Let's go different. I'm going to say no on this one.
Michael's going to say no. John's
I'll
going to say yes.
I'll probably be wrong. But
so here we go. Larry, did you have it?
Hey, it's Larry from the STS guys again. What's up, guys? Mighty Max. Like the thing about Polly Pocket and Mighty Max, I really remember the commercials. Like they were always on TV during like the Fox afternoon cartoons and stuff. I did have to look this one up. Like I remember having a Mighty Max, but I wasn't exactly sure. But yes, I did have a Mighty Max. I think my Mighty Max was the one that came from McDonald's, though, the Happy Meal toy. But that totally counts, right?
It counts.
It counts. I was actually glad that you said the McDonald's one before we shut off there, because I was like, we got to talk about McDonald's before we get to Larry's. So again, thanks. Shout out to Larry and the SDS guys. Thanks for playing along and having some fun with us, Larry, on our new little segment there. I think people are going to really enjoy it, especially with the audio from you coming in. So, all right, where are we at on our list of things? We've done this so many times, you'd think I would know all this. Anything we want to add about Mighty Max? No, nothing we want to add. All right. Well, with that, so again, shout out to Larry with the STS guys. They are part of Cross the Streams Media, along as with us and a couple of other great podcasts that we partner with: The Dorksmen, The Secondary Heroes, Three Beers on a Mic, The Movie Gap, The Dan Aykroyd Podcast, The Burt Reynolds and Charles Bronson Podcast, Front Row Negative, Art of the Boar, and Beering Ain't Easy. That we're growing. That whole podcast group's going. We have a few more that'll be announced here shortly, I think, and getting a lot of things. And so we're doing a lot of cross the streaming between us. So we will probably have a special guest in the coming weeks from the Cross Streams Media. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. And you go check out crossstreamsmedia.com. You can leave us a voicemail. You can leave us ratings and review, which help us in Apple. I have not looked up our Ireland numbers in the last week to find out where we're at. I don't think we're as high as we were. So maybe we were so high because there's nobody else in Ireland talking about toys.
Well, we talked about something from the UK. So
maybe this will
Bluebird
help.
Toys. Maybe this will help out.
Bluebird Toys. I think Bluebird's great. They brought us a lot of cool stuff. So be sure you check us out on Cross the Streams. Go ahead, Michael.
It is St. Patrick's Day here today.
It is. As releasing this, it is St. Patrick's Day. So so check that out. Make sure you are checking us on Cross Streams, our Toy Rewind podcast, or wherever you get podcasts, to be honest. Let's just hope you got that. Anything else we want to add? Nothing? John?
I'm good.
All right. So it is, I'm going to do this. It is, Michael knows what's coming. Tomorrow, after releasing this, is Michael's birthday. The fact that we've done this for so long and we are back to a birthday, I do just want to say happy birthday, Michael, with this.
Thank you, guys.
Michael! You got birthday candles, blow them out. You got birthday candles, blow them out. Everybody at the party start to gather round. Puffin', puffin', Michael! Blow them out. It's your birthday, let's get crazy. I'll take the day off, they're gonna fire me. I came to pin the tail on the donkey. Shaking to the Richter scale, charts are party. You got birthday candles, blow them out. You got birthday candles, blow them out. Everybody at the party start to gather round. Puffin', puffin', Michael! Blow them out.
These rapping sloths are so amazing.
I don't. Yeah, they're sloths singing this song, and then birthday, and huff and puff and blow them out. Well, you can't blow them out no more because
we're beginning to phase out altitude
all
services.
Oh, sorry, you get a commercial. I should just close the window. There we go. All right. Well, then, with that, happy birthday, Michael.
Thank you.
Happy
I got lots of candles.
I'm really sad you're getting so old, because that makes John older, and
It makes you older.
it doesn't make me a year older at all. I'm still young and beautiful, so we'll just keep it that way.
The young part, probably not the beautiful part.
I always thought we looked alike. Isn't that what we hear all the time? How much we look alike?
We
Do
look
we look
similar
alike?
enough to know we're brothers.
I don't
There you
think.
go. There you
I
go.
don't think so.
All right. Well, then, happy birthday, Michael. Thanks, everybody, for listening. This has been episode 79. We talked about Mighty Max here on the Toy Rewind podcast. And with that, on behalf of the Brothers Newland here at the Toy Rewind podcast, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.